and then I will cue Regent Harrell. Just one moment. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. This is Laura Tibbetts in the system office. I'm showing that we are live and streaming, and so with that, I'm going to turn the call over to Regent Harrell, who is serving as chair today for this committee.
Thank you, Laura. Good afternoon. This is Regent Harrell, sitting in as chair today for Regent Gary Crane, who is unable to join us. We welcome to the telephonic Academic and Health Affairs Committee meeting for Monday, May the 9th, 2022. And for the record, the time is 2:01. This meeting has been duly posted with the Secretary of State as required by open meetings laws. Please note the audio of this meeting is being broadcast live. Before we take a roll call, I'd like to remind everyone to please mute your phones unless you need to speak. Laura, let's begin the roll call with the regents, please.
Sure, thank you. I'll start with you, Regent Harrell.
Here.
Regent Flores.
Present.
Regent Lee.
Present.
Do we have any other regents on the call with us? Okay, thank you.
Okay, can you have a roll call now for the system office representatives, please?
Sure, I'll start with Chancellor McCall.
Here.
Thank you. Dr. Hay.
Here.
Daniel Harper.
Here.
Sean Cunningham.
Here.
Derek Alexander.
Here.
Mike Winnemute.
Here.
Nellie Herrera.
Here.
Malou Gonzalez.
Here.
Pierce Mitchell.
Here.
And do we have any other system staff on the call? And I know we have several people streaming, so thank you. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Can we now have a roll call for the component representatives?
Sure, I'll start with Lamar University.
Jaime Taylor here.
Brenda Nichols for Academic Affairs here.
Thank you. Moving on to Sam Houston.
Hi, this is Elisa White, and with me are Dr. Ann Gilliard and Dr. McCartney Johnson.
You, Dr. White. Sol Ross.
Hi, this is Pete Gallego. With us today are Dr. Contenius, the provost, Mr. Goodman, and also Ben Teleska.
Thank you, President Gallego. Next, Texas State University.
Denise Trouth here. Jean Bourgeois is also on the Zoom, and Lisa Lloyd's on YouTube.
Thank you, Dr. Trout. Moving on to LIT.
Lonnie Howard, Angela Hill, and Veronica Garcia.
Thank you, Dr. Howard. Lamar State College Orange.
Tom Johnson and Dr. Wendy Elmore.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. And finally, Lamar State College Port Arthur. Oh, did we forget? I'm sorry. Did we forget someone?
This is Betty Renard, and with me is Dr. Pam Millsap.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Renard. Okay, with that, I have the roll calls complete.
Thank you, Laura. Dr. Hayek had a chance to brief me on the agenda items, so at this time, I'll turn the meeting over to John, and he will present the Academic and Health Affairs Committee agenda items.
Thank you very much, Regent Harrell. We'll just jump right in today. The first item for action item is 3A, the addition of a Master's of Education in Literacy, Leadership, and Urban Education. President Taylor or Dr. Nichols?
Yes, sir. Let me address that. Oh, crap. I am not muted, right? You can hear me?
Yes.
I thought I was muted again. I'm always muted. I'm never muted when I think I am. So this is actually a degree plan it's come about because of an emphasis in our area on literacy and looking at what we can do in our partner BISD area with literacy. This is a very specialized degree. It'll be a 33-hour degree. It has two 15-week practicum courses that are field-based. It will take place in urban settings right now. The program will be fully online with courses designed to meet in 8 and 15-week lengths and will be completed in as few as 4 semesters or a little over a year. And it shows the areas. We're really trying very hard to improve the literacy rates. If students can't read, they can't do other things. So we think this is essential. And we have hired a couple of people who are reading specialists on our faculty now and are excited about the opportunity to try to make a difference in the region. Are there questions or?
That's exactly what I was going to ask, Brenda. Any questions? Do committee members agree to move the item on to the full board? Regent Flores? Regent
Yes.
Flores? Oh, there you are. Regent Lee?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. John, go on to the next item.
Great. The next item is a Sam Houston State item. It's approval of Sam Houston's revised strategic framework. President White.
Thank you, Dr. Hike. So we are asking for your consideration of a new strategic framework. It is really an update of our strategic plan, and the process included an environmental scan, focus groups, and surveys of faculty, staff, students, alumni, industry, and we feel good about the process. We've got a revised mission statement, set of values, vision statement, and then 4 strategic priorities that we would like you to consider. And if you approve, then the next part of this process would be to build out each strategic priority, identifying performance indicators, timeline, budget, that kind of thing.
Any questions for Dr. White? Do committee members agree to move the item to the full board? Regent Flores
Yes.
and Regent Lee?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you very much. Go on to the next item, please.
Great. The next item is 3C. It's a new degree program at Sam Houston State, a Master of Science in Applied Economics. President White or Dr. Gaylor, would you like to take this one?
Thank you. So Sam Houston State University would like to add a degree program for the Master of Science in Applied Economics to provide students with a solid foundation in core economic fields with a focus on evidence-based quantitative methods and data analysis. Students will be introduced to a strong framework that can be applied to a large variety of areas, such as business and financial management, market research, international trade, public policy, health economics and public health, and criminal justice and law. There's strong evidence from both the supply and demand side for this degree. This is an online program that will be accessible to students from the region and beyond, and the flexible online nature of the program will allow working professionals to be among those to attend.
Are there any questions? Do committee members agree to move the item to the full board? Regent Flores?
Yes.
Regent Lee?
Yes.
Thank you. Go on to the next item, please, John.
Great. Thank you, Regent Harrell. Next item is a Sul Ross State University item. It's a name change of their College of Literature, Arts, and Social Sciences. President Gallego?
Thank you, Dr. Hayek. There is, I was a student at Sul Ross from 1980, the fall of 1980 to the fall of 1982. And there's only one faculty member who is left, who is still in the faculty. He came to us as a person with a master's, worked on his PhD, got his PhD, became chairman of the department, worked his way up to being the provost at Sul Ross, and is retiring this year after 41 years of service to the university. So it is our request that we name the college the Jimmy D. Case College in honor of Dr. Jimmy Case, who this is his last month of service to Sul Ross after 41 years.
Are there any questions? Do members agree to move the item to the full board? Regent Flores?
Proud to say yes.
Regent Lee?
Yes.
That's very commendable for Dr. Case. Thank you. We'll go on to the next item.
Great, thank you, Regent Harrell. Next item is 3E, another Sul Ross item. This is a program addition of Bachelor of Science in Education, General Studies, non-certification. Dr. Kentens, do you want to take this one?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Haig. This is the Department of Education at Rio Grande College is creating a alternative pathway for some students who have been struggling to compete. These are rare cases, but in some cases they struggle to complete the student teaching component of the education degree certification with certification. So by creating this new bachelor's, it creates an alternative pathway for these students to finish on time.
Are there any questions?
What's the challenge with getting the supplemental, the certification?
The challenge, the student teaching component.
I'm sorry.
Yes, yeah, of the it requires that that they be in the classroom full time for 15 weeks, and some students can't afford to do that because they're working.
Gotcha. Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, do committee members agree to move the item to the full board? Regent Flores?
Yes.
Regent Lee?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Next item, please, John.
Right, the next item is 3F, another Sul Ross State University item. That's modifying their undergraduate admissions criteria. Dr. Kentens or President Gallego?
Either one of us. The university is seeking permission to continue what the regents had previously authorized with respect to allowing us to remain test optional. The regents had given us that permission during the COVID period, and we're looking forward. We're looking to extend that, and that's our request.
Okay, are there any questions?
Does this remain a temporary extension or is this a permanent extension?
Well, the idea, I think, would be that we would make it a permanent extension as more and more universities move away from actual testing criteria and look to more holistic admissions and more an opportunity to look not only at what the student's grades are, but what the student's activities are, how many hours he's worked, what his financial conditions were, those kinds of things. We look forward to the opportunity to broaden our student body by being able to look at more characteristics than just a test.
Any other questions? Do committee members agree to move the item to the full board? Regent Flores?
Yes.
And Regent Lee?
Yes.
Thank you. Go on to the next item, please.
The next item is 3G. It's a Texas State item. It's adding a Master's of Applied Geography with a major in Geography, Resource, and Environmental Studies. And this is an online degree program. President Trout?
Thank you, Dr. Heck. The Department of Geography and Environmental Studies is seeking to offer the existing Master of Applied Geography degree that has a major in Geography, Resource, and Environmental Studies, and to offer it in a distance education delivery format. I think it's clear that expanding to this online format broadens the reach of the Geography and department and allows Texas State to stay competitive in an increasingly online market.
Are there any questions? Do committee members agree to move this item to the full board? Regent Flores
Yes.
and Regent Lee.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Trowell. Next question, next item, please.
And next item is another Texas State item 3H is adding a Master's of Long-Term Care Administration with a major in Long-Term Care Administration. President Trout?
Yes, well, I won't belabor the point that the elderly population in this country is growing and it's expected to double in the next 10 years. And obviously nursing homes are an option for elder care. So the state and national data indicate that nursing home administrator jobs are going to increase by anywhere from 17 to 22% over the next 2 to 6 years as this population ages. And the job opportunities for graduates from this kind of a program are not just limited to the administrators of nursing homes, but to the whole sort of career ladder, assistant administrators, executive directors, even chief operating officers. And this program is specifically designed to comply with the National Association of Long-Term Care Administrator Boards, which accredits programs like this. So it meets the accreditation requirements, and we will seek programmatic accreditation at the first possible date.
And if I was going to say, excuse me, if I may add one other comment, this degree will be online.
Dr. Truss, what I was going to ask is, what other schools in the state are offering the same level?
It's my understanding that this will be the first program of its kind in the state. A master's degree isn't required in most states, including Texas, but it is very clear that if a person presents a master's across a lot of different fields, they're going to have a better opportunity to get the job.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? Do committee members agree to move this item to the full board? Regent Flores?
Yes.
Regent Lee?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Please go on to the next item.
Right, the next item is 3I, another Texas State item, changes to the freshman admissions standards. President Trout or Dr. Bourgeois?
Gene, do you want to talk about that?
Yes, I'll go ahead and take it. So kind of echoing what we heard just a few minutes ago, Texas State University seeks a request to continue to use test optional approach for our freshman admissions requirements. We've been very successful last year using such an approach, and all the data is pointing to another very successful year for this freshman class. So we ask for continued use of a holistic or test optional approach. In addition, we would like to expand our assured admissions to all top 25% ranked first-year high school students. Clearly, this would map directly to our NRUF eligibility criterion, where we need to graduate. We need to admit at least 50% of our high school class who have graduated in the top 25%. And we think this will help us hit that metric.
So just a comment, it's just really interesting that it took a pandemic to bring this to light, that test optional approach works after so many, many years, I guess. Any other questions? Do committee members agree to move the item to the full board? Regent Flores?
Yes.
And Regent Lee?
Yes.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Right, the next item is 3J. It's a new program proposal from Lamar Institute of Technology. President Howard?
I'll ask Dr. Hill to present both motions.
Thank you, Dr. Howard. Good evening. Good afternoon, everyone. LIT is requesting permission to create a data analytics program. As we all know, data analytics helps individuals and organizations make sense of data, In this program, students will typically learn how to analyze raw data for insights and trends. The goal is to produce more data analysts to assist organizations in determining which data sets are useful and how they can be leveraged to solve problems, increase efficiency, productivity, and revenue of businesses and organizations. The program will offer a Level 1 certificate, which is a stackable credential that feeds into the Associate of Applied Science in Data Analytics. Program is designed to provide training for the students to pursue their career to be a data analyst. With this degree, students can seek career in business data analyst, management analyst, etc. Through this program, graduates will also acquire the skills in Excel, MySQL, and data analyst concepts that are needed in entry-level positions. Our Level 1 certificate will be offered to our dual credit students. This program will also be offered in person and online. The goal is to provide students with a pathway to workforce, as well as to produce more data analysts. This concludes the motion being presented.
Thank you, Dr. Hill. Are there any questions? Do committee members agree to move the item to the full board? Regent Flores.
Yes.
Regent Lee.
Yes.
Thank you. Please go on to the next item.
Great. The next item, 3K, is another LIT new program proposal, the Associate of Applied Science, as well as a certificate in aviation maintenance technology airframe. Dr. Hill?
Yes, sir. So we're requesting permission for this new aviation maintenance technology program. LIT was approached by Beaumont Municipal Airport to partner to address the interest and demand of aviation mechanics. Currently, there are no aviation maintenance programs in Southeast Texas. This program will provide students with the knowledge and skills in the field of the aircraft maintenance. Students will also be able to construct, inspect, operate, maintain, and repair structures, systems, and power plants. The program will offer a Level 1 certificate in aviation maintenance technology, airframe. This will be a stackable credential that leads them to the Associate of Applied Science in Aviation Maintenance Technology. Additionally, a Level 1 certificate in aviation maintenance technology power plant will also be offered. At the completion of the Level 1 certificates, students will be prepared for their Federal Aviation Administration airframe and power plant maintenance certification. This concludes the motion being presented.
So will the training be done like at the airport? Where does the training take place?
Yes, the training will be done with Beaumont Municipal Airport.
Any other questions? Do committee members agree to move the item to the full board? Regent Flores?
Yes.
Regent Lee?
Yes.
Thank you. Next item.
Next item is 3L. It's a Lamar State College Orange item, a new program proposal for Engineering Associate of Science degree. President Johnson or Dr. Elmore?
Good afternoon. Thank you for this opportunity. Today, Lamar State College Orange is seeking authorization to create an Engineering Associate of Science degree, which will provide students an option for a transfer to a four-year college or university that has a Baccalaureate of Science degree in civil, mechanical, electrical, or chemical engineering. It will follow the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board field of study, enabling the courses to transfer and apply towards the student selected major at any Texas Public Institute of Higher Education. According to the United States Department of Labor's Bureau of Labor Statistics, employment of civil, mechanical, electrical, and chemical engineers in Texas is projected to grow between 7 and 9% in the next decade. So by adding this program for LSCO, we will provide our students an additional transfer opportunity. Thank you for your consideration.
Are there any questions? Do committee members agree to move the item to the full board? Regent Flores?
Yes.
Regent Lee?
Yes.
Thank you. Let's go to the next item.
Next item is 3M, Lamar Port Arthur, creating a new Associate of Arts in Music degree. President Renard or Dr. Millsap?
Hi, this is Dr. Millsap. Thank you very much. Yes, we would like to create an Associate of Arts in Music beginning this fall semester. Currently, students who wish to major in music basically pursue an Associate of Arts degree and take their electives in music. But the bachelor's degree in music is structured in such a way that you have to front load a lot of music courses because they are prerequisites for one another. So pursuing the traditional Associate of Arts basically puts the transfer student at a disadvantage when they transfer to LU or another university or Sam Houston or such, because they won't be able to finish in 2 years. So by following the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board's field to study curriculum for music, we'll still have a 60-hour degree, but it'll more closely represent the actual first 2 years of a bachelor's degree in music, and it will be more advantageous for our students. Any questions?
Thank you, Dr. Millsap. Are there any questions? Do committee members agree to move the item to the full board? Regent Flores?
Yes.
Regent Lee?
Yes.
Thank you. Next item.
Thank you.
Great. The next item is 3N, which is just as an information only item, and it's the certified enrollment report for the spring of 2022. And so it's information only. So Regent Harrell, no action has to be taken on that one. And so that will move us into the consent agenda. And Chair Harrell, if it's okay with you, similar to previous meetings, I'd recommend we have each institution kind of present their consent items in order, and then at the very end, take one vote to kind of move all the consent items forward, if that's okay with you.
Of course, that's great.
Okay, so great. So we'll start with Lamar University's consent items, and we'll start with 3P. Dr. Nichols?
Yes, sir. The Master of Science in Professional Accounting, it was formerly the Master of Science in Accounting. At a previous board meeting, we have moved that program to be reflect the STEM approved designation, and that allowed us to move around some courses. And so the curriculum that you see has 5 core courses. They take 4 out of 6 electives, and then they have 1 true elective in management information system. This brings the program in line with other STEM accounting degree programs within the state. And that concludes my piece on it. The next one is LU's deletion of courses not taught from 2019 to 2021. We had more than 272 courses that we have deleted from our inventory. I think some of these would have gotten caught by the coordinating board, but we've actually been undertaking a major curriculum look and looking at what we are teaching and what is has not been taught in a while on our courses. So that's the complete list. Our next request is to modify course elective options for the Bachelor of Business Administration in MIS. We wanted to include 3 undergraduate elective courses. Those would allow students who need those courses to pick them up and to do a transition. So if they don't have a Bachelor of Business in MIS, they can actually come into it. They take these, they're more leveling courses. This does not alter the degree plan, but allows for students to provide some extra courses. Our next request is a modification of the Bachelor of Art and History degree plan. This allows us to have 3 different areas, if you will, in the history degree, and kind of corrects and increases the flexibility for students in this. So there is a BA in history, which is primarily a non-teaching piece. designed for people who want to study history and perhaps pursue graduate studies. The BA in history with teacher certification with a minor, and a BA in history with teacher certification with the social studies composite. The social study composite is actually the most popular of the degrees that we have. And this does allow for some more flexibility and actually streamlines the degrees. Our next request is to modify our BA in American Sign Language. This modifications were after a review of curriculum and changes made in course content. So there are basically two areas, a teaching track, and then the second one will be for users of ASL. So we will have two areas that people can pursue. The one I'm really happiest about and pleased to announce to you guys is a modification of our Bachelor of Science in Speech and Hearing Sciences. This is a program that we have on campus. It's very popular. It is the bachelor's degree for students pursuing a doctoral degree in audiology or a doctoral degree in speech language pathology. But if you didn't get accepted into a graduate program, those highly competitive graduate programs, you were kind of stuck with a bachelor's degree, and then you had to find internships totaling 250 hours or more. This program allows the student to get those hours and to actually graduate and be eligible to sit for the certification for an SLPA, a speech language pathology assistant, at the time of graduation, and will help us with workforce needs as well. We're excited about that one. Our Masters of Music concentration in music ed, we are deleting some courses. To existing courses will be added, and it's being revised so that the students can take music integration and advanced choral conducting. Those same two courses are added for the Master of Music in Music Performance, which is the next request. The ninth one, modification of the curriculum in nursing undergraduate and graduate degrees. This is a result of changes at the state and national level, and represents basically an overhaul of most of our courses. At least titles and or content, and a reorganization. All of that has been vetted and curriculum mapped. And the last one is a new undergraduate certificate in data analytics. This is, again, it is a 15 credit hour plan. They take 2 courses out of 3 from the first, which are missing courses, management information systems, and 3 out of the 5 listed for more in-depth use of data visualization or how to do data mining. The course content and the course descriptions are also attached. That concludes the request from Lamar University.
Great. Chair Harrell, we'll just, it's okay, I'll ask if there's any questions, and then if no questions, then we'll move on to the next institution's consent items.
Certainly. Are there any questions? If not, keep going.
Great. The next item is 3Z, which is the Sam Houston State University item. President White or Dr. Gaylor, would you like to take that one?
Yes, so the Department of Family and Consumer Sciences in the College of Health Sciences is proposing to change their name to the Department of Human Sciences. The department offers 4 bachelor's degrees programs, those being in interior design, fashion merchandising, food service management, and food science and nutrition, and 1 graduate program in master's in dietetics. The name change would more accurately encompass the degree programs that are offered, as well as offer a modern term that is preferred. And then the second item is to change the number of semester credit hours in the Master of Arts in Clinical Psychology program from 60 to 57. This degree program has 2 tracks. One is for students who are obtaining a terminal master's degree, and the other is for students obtaining a master's degree en route to obtaining a doctoral degree. The 60 semester credit hour requirement is not ideal for those students who are going on to pursue the doctoral degree, and this is the main rationale for the request.
Great. Any questions on either one of those 2 items? All right, if not, we'll move on to 3BB. This is a Sul Ross State University item, name change. Dr. Cantens.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Hick. The first name change that Sul Ross is requesting is from the Department of Fine Arts to the Department of Visual and Performing Arts. So the rationale behind this is that the name more accurately will reflect the complete offerings of the department, which it recently has added a film production concentration 3 years ago. The second name change is the degree in the Rio Grande College from the Bachelor's of Arts in Education to the Bachelor's of Science in Education. And this is part of the alignment that has been taking place in the past few years between the Alpine campus and the RGC campus. So in the Alpine campus, we offer a BS in education. And so now we will also be offering the BS in the RGC campus. Thank you.
Great. Any questions on either one of those items? If not, we'll move on to 3DD. This is a Texas State item. President Trout or Dr. Bourgeois?
Dr. Bourgeois will take these 2.
Yes, thank you. So the first one is a change in major titles. We have a Master of Applied Geography degree with a major in Geography, Resource, and Environmental Studies. And we wish to change that to Natural Resources and Environmental Studies. And then similarly, a Bachelor of Science degree with a major in Recreation Administration to a major in Recreation Studies, both due to job market and disciplinary changes. The next item is a request to delete several undergraduate certificate programs within the Department of Geography and Environment. And these are being phased out or requested to be phased out because of low student demand. And they include environmental interpretation, geographic information science, location analysis, and water resources policy. The department did a scan of the market value, and unfortunately, these are not considered to be professional certifications, which may explain why we've had very low student demand for them.
Great. Any questions on either one of those items? If not, we'll move on to 3FF, which is Lamar State College Orange. Dr. Elmore?
Thank you very much. Today, Lamar State College Orange is requesting an adjustment, a modification to what we currently call our Biology Medical Profession Emphasis Associate of Science degree. We are requesting authority to rename it to a Pre-Professional Health Science Associate degree, as well as be more specific in the courses that are required within that degree. Both of these requests are being asked so that we can better assure that students completing our AS degree are completing courses that will both transfer and apply to the 4-year college or university in which they're pursuing a pre-professional health baccalaureate degree. And then the second course program revision we are requesting is to modify our core curriculum based on our previous request to add the pre-engineering or the Engineering Associate of Science degree. It will suit our students well if we can include in the mathematics component area a Calculus 2 option, in the life and physical science component area a University Physics 2 option, And then both of those courses similarly in the component area option. So the request is to add those two courses to our core curriculum inventory. And upon approval, we will then submit the necessary documentation to the coordinating board for their consideration. Are there any questions? Thank you for your consideration.
Great. The next item is 3H8, which is Lamar State College Port Arthur item. Dr. Millsap.
Yes, thank you. As previously mentioned, we would like to begin an Associate of Arts specifically in music using the field of study of music. And in tandem with that, we would like to discontinue our Associate of Arts in teaching emphasis in music. There are no students enrolled and our students who come here who want to go into music are generally either wanting to pursue a performance career, meaning the academic degree, or a technical career such as audio engineering, one of our commercial music technical degrees. And so just for the sake of efficiency, we would like to discontinue that degree while beginning the field of study in music. And that's all. Thank you.
Great. And the final two items, 3II and 3JJ, are routine curricular change reports from the institutions, as well as the out-of-state, out-of-country study programs. So Chair Harrell, that concludes the consent items. If you'd like to have the committee vote as a group on those, that would be great.
So do we just need to move those to the full board? Is that what you mean?
That's correct.
Okay. Do the committee members agree to move these on? Regent Flores?
Yes.
And Regent Lee?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. I think that covers everything, John. I want to thank everybody for calling in. Unless there's any further discussion on anything, this concludes our telephone meeting today. Sure look forward to seeing everybody next week in Huntsville. For the oh yeah, that's right. I have to give you the time for the record. The time is 2:42. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.